For today's cup of coffee, we've got a more light subject again because everybody needs a little more of a light subject right now. And this is about the Pink Palace's helpful ghost.
What?
And it's not the Jane Mansfield one because that's not lighter. This one is the Pink Palace that's in Louisville, Kentucky. And I did briefly live in Lexington, Kentucky for a while, and they had some phenomenal architecture in certain parts there. Never did get to go to Louisville. Would have loved to have gone to Louisville because I've heard that it was just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Of course, that was many, many years ago, so who knows what it's like at this point. But this is from a website called Seeks Ghosts. So, of course, the link will be in the description box. And this was originally posted by Virginia Lamkin, and that was June 25th, 2019. And it's not horribly written, so we're just going to pretty much go verbatim. And Miss Virginia says, located at the end of St. James Court in Louisville, Kentucky, is a magnificent Victorian mansion. The Pink Palace was built in 1891. And I do urge everyone to look for a picture of this dwelling because it is phenomenal. It's one of those dream homes. I mean, it just, yeah.
It was beautiful.
It's just incredible. You know, this was architecture at its finest. Mm-hmm. And then we went to boxes, little gray boxes. That takes no imagination, none. Anyhow, this is a 3-story mansion which displays a French chateau-inspired turret and a grand staircase. And the turrets, I love those. I do. And it has been lovingly maintained for over a century. It was initially used as a classy gentleman's club where its members came to unwind and enjoy cigars, brandy, cards, and the women upstairs. So it was an upscale brothel.
Whorehouse.
Yeah. I think after you get a certain dollar amount, it's, you know, that's one of those it's a brothel as opposed to a whorehouse. It says the mansion was then used as a private family home after the brothel until 1910. Then an organization that influenced Prohibition, the Women's Christian Temperance Union, bought the mansion next. That's lovely.
Wicked.
They were not helpful people. They really were not. And appalled and embarrassed to find the home was once used as a brothel, they had its red brick walls painted pink to wipe this history clean. No, they just totally, got rid of the wonder of red brick because once brick has been painted, you can never truly get the paint off of it. Did you need to say something? I saw you over there gesturing.
Yes, I was about to cut the camera because I had to sneeze. But it's okay.
It went away?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. The mansion has since been referred to as the Pink Palace. Well, hell, that drew more attention to it. Mm-hmm. Because these people didn't, I don't know, they had their head up their butts. Bunch of sanctimonies. That was that. Lips that touch wine will never touch mine. If you've seen pictures of these women's, I don't think that they had to worry about somebody having a glass of wine. They was some rough looking women's.
Yeah.
Have you seen pictures of them?
Yeah.
It's right. Anyhow, then
they look exactly like the ones on Alice Madness Returns that are on the street.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
But they looked pinched. All these women in the temperance movement looked pinched. Like their shoes were too tight. I don't know. Maybe they needed a glass of wine. It would help their spirits a little bit. That was their problem. Anyhow, by the 70s and the 80s, the home was being used as apartments. And the residents and past owners have all mentioned that the mansion was haunted. One specific entity is seen, and Avery is believed to have been a butler in the home before he died. Now, that's what they've named the spirit. Some of the other things I read, they were thinking that it may be the ghost of the gentleman who had the dwelling constructed or somebody else, but they're not sure exactly who Avery is. Said to be an older Southern gentleman who wears a crisp dark suit and a string tie. And he's tall, 6 feet in height, and he is a very friendly ghost. And they said sort of, it's that Southern gentleman type thing that the original, Colonel Sanders was. Mm-hmm. And whoever decided to do this mockery thing of Colonel Sanders.
It's like a parody.
It's not a parody. It's just disrespectful, and they need a good bitch slap. And I would be glad to oblige them for that.
Well, no one can properly, portray him anyway.
Right, and this goes back to as far as the South and different areas being maligned lots over the years, because that, if you've ever met, there are a few of the true Southern gentlemen left. They're older. But when you meet one of these cultured individuals, they are just amazing. You never forget them.
Nope. Mr.
Kelly down there in Tennessee was one of them.
Cool.
He was just a great guy. I hope he's doing well. And it says, when Avery appears, it is to warn the living that something dangerous is about to happen. One female resident describes the time Avery stood in front of her at the top of the stairs, and he would not let her pass. You need to sneeze yet?
Not for a long went away. That's why I'm sniffing now.
You need to blow your nose? Would that help?
Nah. It's because I got all that cat fur.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Well, until the basement dries up, I'm going to have to put a fan down there or something to dry
Well, is it doing better than it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
She looked down and realized there was a rolled edge on the upper carpet that she had not seen, and she would have tripped down the stairs if Avery had not stopped her.
Ooh.
So that was a really cool thing. Years later, another female who lived in the basement apartment encountered Avery in an embarrassing moment. She was taking a bath when Avery appeared. Startled, she jumped out of the tub just in time to avoid a huge cement block that came hurling through the window. If she had not moved, the block would have hit her in the head.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And what had happened, 2 burglars had thrown the block in an attempt to break in. And this female was able to alert the other occupants, and then they called the police.
Ooh.
So that was pretty cool of Avery. It says several residents had claimed that Avery had saved them. He appeared several times to warn residents that a fire was about to break out in their kitchens. They then were able to unplug appliances or turn off stoves just in time. The spirit is obsessed with sharp objects because they're dangerous. Residents would find their scissors, pens, pocket knives, etc. lined up on one table in the entry hall regardless of where they kept them in the home. Avery has been seen for over a century at the Pink Palace. The mansion in recent years has been for sale. It has beautiful grounds, a large swimming pool, and a 2.5-car garage in the back, and one very helpful ghost. And the Pink Palace was listed for sale in 2017 for $735,000, and then it went up for auction again in 2019. And I didn't see where the list price was on that, and that's well out of our budget, but
yeah,
it would be worth that. Mm-hmm. Because it is an incredible residence. there's different websites that you can see inside the home, and just magnificent, as you can imagine. So, Avery, the friendly ghost, I would much rather have Southern gentleman ghost than like
friendly ghost.
Yeah, than Casper. Casper, the little friendly ghost, says a child ghost, and it always made me sad because it's like, he's a child. Why is he a child ghost?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always thought too much.
There are ghost children.
Oh, I know that there are, but that it's always like sad. I would like to think that Avery was just, he always helped people, and he's still helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he's trapped.
Honestly, like, from the research that I did, some spirits honestly do choose just to stick around.
Yeah.
And if they want to do that, hey, that's okay.
Right. As long as it's not a trauma type thing, that it is a matter of just being helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, they just want to stick around. They just want to float around. That's it.
Go from place to place, seeing stuff.
Yeah, because they can travel wherever they want.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to, like, if you died and you decided to stay here on the earth, wouldn't you want to travel all over the place too, if you could?
Absolutely.
For free.
Yeah. Yeah, just be able to, think, I would like to see the Parthenon and be there, and, to see it up close.
You can't go to the moon, though. People have tried to astral travel to the moon and got blocked.
Really?
Yeah. Like, full on, like, blocked.
By what?
Some other something that has managed to, like, put a shield around it.
That's crazy. No, I had not heard that one.
Yeah, you should look that up. Astral travel, dude.
Well, I know about astral projection and stuff like that. We need to do a cup on that.
Blocked. Like, their spirit just went, bonk.
That's wild.
Like, if you ran straight into the wall, like, that's how their spirit did, right against it.
Yeah, the astral projection thing, I've toyed with that in the past. I don't do that anymore.
I want to do it,
but it's weird. It's weird. I have had experiences where I don't know exactly, but I was not seated totally in the body. It's like...
Yeah, your spirit's like sort of floating.
Elevated. Well, it wasn't totally out of the body.
No,
it was just like I felt like I was a foot or more taller. I mean, it was like up there.
There is a type of drug that makes you feel like you're like 3 feet to the left.
God, why would I want that? I already have issues with balance. Why the hell would anybody do that? Why not just step over 3 feet?
Right.
I don't know. Kid's not as talkative. God love him, he's had allergy issues, and one of them was as far as...
I had to use a towel that had cat fur on
it. It did, because we've had issues with the laundry area.
The basement flooded, and I did not feel comfortable turning on the dryer.
Well, that was probably a wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had drain issues. Welcome to this episode of This Old House.
This house is fucked up in so many ways. It was built not right.
Right, exactly. It was not built correctly, and so...
It wasn't even up to code back then.
I don't know that they had code back then. Oh,
hell yeah, they did.
Well, they probably did, but I don't know that everybody was required to call the building inspector every time they did something the way that they are today. Because, again, that would have involved the good bitch slap.
Yeah.
So, but that's why he's sniffy and snuffy, is that the allergies have affected him greatly. That and the rain. The rain's affected everybody. I wish we had a helpful ghost that would come through and, like, clean. Wouldn't that be wonderful? It would not bother me in the least to hear the sounds of the vacuum, even if it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that would be a happy noise. I think I could sleep contentedly with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, the Pink Palace please go and look at this structure. Incredible.
Really cool.
It really is cool. Except for the fact that these people painted it pink.
I have no problem with that.
Oh,
You hate pink.
I don't like to see brick painted.
You hate pink.
And it's like I'm not a fan of white brick either. Of course, we have
hate
red
light
brick.
Colors.
I don't know. It depends on what it is.
There's a good portion of light colors that you don't like.
I don't like
Pink and
pastels.
white.
I don't like pastels. I don't do well with
You
pastels.
hate any shade of pink, though.
I do. Now I can deal with magenta.
That's
I
not
really
pink.
can.
That's
Well,
more purple.
it's a purple and a red together, so I can deal with it. Pink is red that just didn't try hard enough.
No.
Anyhow, so this was a shorter cup of coffee, but it was also a much lighter subject. So it was a blonde roast, which is also an abomination. But anyhow,
Bullshit.
I like the dark roast. I do. And then if you want to add the decorative coffees or, decorative creamers into it, or a little rum, or anything like that. Rum and some sweetener, and you've got a whole cup of Kahlua, and the world is happy. So, he's over here looking at me funny. So if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you perchance have gotten to visit the Pink Palace, or if you have a similar dwelling where you are, if you've got local, regional, family, myths, legends, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And thank you all for sharing time with us today, and coffee, and pondering great ponderings, or even small ponderings.
Yes.
And in this time of don't give in to the fear porn, and it's where you keep your heads, to the clouds, not to the floating heads in the boxes. Yeah.
Right.
So be of good cheer.
Mm-hmm. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that little notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a wonderful whatever.
Yes, if you don't mind, as far as giving us an update on, the content, that would be great.
Boost our content.
Don't give the down dudes, because no. That just frustrates me.
Boost our content.
Yeah, well, I don't know if anything's going to help on that, but it's not that it's boosting the content, it's boosting the views. Which I don't know that I care about that either. I really don't. We care about the people that we have that are watching here today. That's what we care about. Mm-hmm. So we'll see you on the next cup. Know that you are loved. Bye.
Bye.